Y'all know what it is. Hit me with a bruh if y'all can hear me. Today's lab is configuring Dynamic ARP Inspection. It's another security feature. This is part of the security fundamentals section of the book 101 Labs Cisco CCNA version 4. In this lab, we will learn how to configure layer 2 security feature called Dynamic ARP Inspection, or DAI, to protect the network against malicious ARP packets. You know what ARP is, right? ARP stands for Address Resolution Protocol. It's a way for us to get the MAC address of another device or resolve the IP address from a MAC address. Like, we know the MAC address of something, we want to get the IP address of it. That's what ARP is, right? That's why when we send a ping, that first 1 or 2 will drop because you don't know the IP address of the other device. That is what ARPing is. However, there is a way to stop an attacker from getting on our network by using Dynamic ARP Inspection. So if we look at some certain interfaces or some certain ports and see that we're getting an ARP request from a port that we don't really trust, then we will block that block that request. Let me for this lab we only need 3 to 4 devices actually, a switch, a router, and 2 PCs. So go ahead and drag and drop those bad boys. I'm going to use GNS3 today. Yes, I know. Typically I use hardware, but for this lab I said I'm going to use GNS3 because in the book he said please use the following topology to complete this lab exercise. GNS3 with iOS LV GOS, say that 5 times in a row. GNS3 with iOS VL2 layer 2 is used for this lab. So basically he used layer 2 switch for this lab. Well, not necessarily layer 2, but that switch right there basically. So that guy, a router, I'm gonna use the version 15 router, I guess. Yeah, I'll do that. And then drag and drop 2 PCs. And if you're just following along for the first time, this is the lab guide we use. 101 Labs Cisco CCNA version 4. You can get a copy of this from 101labs.net, or there is a link in the description box below. And it is an affiliate link, so it will take you off of YouTube and take you to, not my website, but Amazon. So you can get the book, you know, shipped a little faster there. But it is an affiliate link, so I do get a commission if you get it from there. It will help out this channel. Y'all run me with that like button. And please subscribe to this channel if you haven't yet. Go ahead and cable these bad boys up. Let me see how you got it cabled up. Just like this right here, right? We're going to have this PC right here. We're going to name it just PC2, just like that. Cable him up to port number 1, right? Port number 1. And then this is going to be the attacker's PC. Right, we're gonna name it. We're gonna say that's my daughter trying to plug in the damn data center again. That little rascal. So we gonna change the name of that device to attacking daughter. You know, she learned some hacking techniques from me, from her dad and stuff. So she said, I'm gonna go in the data center so I can get some internet access and play my Barbie games. And then I'm gonna plug up the switch to the router. He said, Fat Bruh Squad. We got Dave W in the building. Shout out to Dave. Pete S, appreciate you for tuning in. He said, hey, mate, good luck with that work project. I got a couple projects. Which one that I was talking about? If you're talking to me, because yeah, I got a couple projects at work. Had one where we were just kind of like doing a makeshift imaging for some computer labs, upgrading our SolarWinds monitoring environment. That's pretty much done. So unless you were talking about somebody else, but yeah, I do have a couple projects lined up at my real job. So go ahead and drag and drop and connect your devices just like this right here. Let me get some labeling here. Bloop. So that way we know where all the ports are. This guy is going to be switch 1. That guy is router 1, R1. If we got time, we'll see if we can knock out the next lab too, because I got a better idea of how to do this than yesterday. Because y'all, I don't know if you guys tuned in yesterday, but for those of you who haven't, yeah, .1x lab. I need to definitely do more of a deep dive with .1x. That is a one of those topics that I'm not very familiar with. AAA commands, like that stuff be confusing the hell out of me. I had to go back and look at the archives of my videos. Let me scoot these guys over this way and see if we can console into come on man, don't do me like that. Power these bad boys up, and let's console into task 1 is to configure the host names and IP addresses of router 1 on router 1 as illustrated in the topology. Well, in case some of y'all ain't got the book, I'm gonna go ahead and add a note and let y'all know the router is supposed to be 192.168.10.254/24 subnet, right? That's going to be the IP address of that interface, and that's what we need to pretty much configure. The host name and the IP address. I guess this is why a lot of people like to pre-configure their devices, right? Just to get it quicker, just to get this easy homework out of the way. I'm gonna console in the router 1. Y'all let me know if you have any questions. Oh, Dave Zebra printer. That's right. I forgot. Dave is, man, when you put that in the Discord server, in case you guys are not, if this is your first time tuning in, we also chat offline on the Discord server. And my man Dave W over there is working on some Zebra printer. I guess you're stuck at work because of those printers or whatever. But let me go ahead and put this in the chat room. Oops, that's the IP address. Invite people. Copy. Paste. All right, so that's the Discord server in case you guys want to join. I am logged into router 1 right now. But yeah, the Zebra printers, man, I haven't touched those things in years, man. Like I said, I used to work at the police department, and we used to have to configure those printers. If they we have to troubleshoot them, we used to have to contact this company called, I think it was called Beast or something like that. But anyways, they had a property management solution, and the evidence department at the police department, evidence section of the police department, used those Zebra printers, those barcode printers, to print up pretty much barcode all of the the inmates and stuff, their property. So and we used to have to troubleshoot those printers. They would go offline, or the printer would just be not printing right. Looks like router 1 is still waking up over here. I guess I should have had these guys powered on before I streamed. That'll give it some time for some of the late stragglers to tune in here. Move this bad boy out of the way. Let's go ahead and console into switch 1 as well, because we're going to be doing some work on that. So anyways, a little bit of information about this lab. Dynamic ARP Inspection depends on Dhcp snooping. When we did that lab yesterday, and I need to remember that to enable DHCP snooping for a specific VLAN, you have to enable, well, you don't have to, but you could enable it globally. It's good to enable it globally, and then on the specific VLANs if you want to. And those are two separate commands. I need to remember that, because remember Kobe and who was it? I believe it was Jose that was mentioning that in the chat. And this is why I appreciate you guys for tuning in to my channel and helping me out in the chat over there. So, like I said, I'm not teaching you guys everything. I'm learning a lot from you guys as well. We got Jason Cliff in the house. Appreciate you for tuning in, man. My devices are still powering up over here. They just waking up. They're like, oh my God, it's 8 o'clock Eastern time. Just a little reminder. I stream Monday through Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Sometimes I will stream on the weekends as well, but that's my static time right there. Monday through Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're almost done wrapping up this book, man. Page 449, Lab 105 of this book right here. I know it says 101 labs, but there's about 120 labs. We're on lab number 105, episode number 71. So I guess they didn't match up. We're almost done with this book. Once we're done with this book, like I said, I'm creating a study plan. If you guys want me to share it with y'all, basically what I did was let me show y'all real quick why these damn slow ass routers are booting up. Jesus Christ, these things are slow. I need a server or something. Drive. There it was right there. So I came up with a CCNP study plan. I found a, let's see, where is it, man? There it is. I created a Google Doc spreadsheet, and I took each, because I'm going to take the NRC exam, right? A lot of the stuff from the NRC exam, along with, they intertwine with the Encore exam, which most people are studying for, because you have to take a core exam Then you pick an elective, right? If you want to do wireless or SD-WAN, or what I'm doing, advanced routing and switching, which is the NRC exam. So I took all of those line items and put all the bullet points. What am I thinking about? Violence over here. I feel like Kwame Brown. I woke up and chose violence. Each of these line items, right? And then I put what I'm going to get from the NRC book. Where can I find that information, right? Chapter 1, page, blah, 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 blah. Then I found some videos. Just Googled it. And then found maybe like an introductory video on the topic. Maybe something on the configuration of it. Like this guy right here. He's got a pretty good channel. I believe his name is Charles Judd. He's like an apprentice of Kevin Wallace. Have you guys ever heard of him? Kevin Wallace Training. Here's another one. So I pick at least a minimum of 3 videos on that topic. One from the book. Where can I find that info? And then I'm going to get the 101 Labs book. So just like this, but the CCNP version of it. And then which lab it is from. So this one, obviously, troubleshoot route maps. You can get that from this BGP lab number 34. So on and so forth, right? Then there's these manuals that Cisco Press has, right? Shout out to Kevin Tran, but he said he didn't really like these books. Yes, I will share it. As soon as I'm going to finish this stuff, I'm going to put all these links in here, and then I'm going to share it with you guys. So this is going to be my attack plan for that exam, right? And then I'm going to put where I can get, from the lab manual, I can practice this topic, right? So like, for example, route maps, I can do chapter 15, route maps. No, that's actually a video, I believe. That's actually a video. So some of this stuff you might have to find like online. But most of these resources, like all of these, like YouTube's, I'm pretty sure y'all have access to YouTube. Like, give me some kind of credit here. I'm kind of combing the internet for some of this information and feeding it to y'all. So, but these books right here, obviously you're gonna probably have to get on Amazon or whatever. If you can find your way to get it, do that. And then I want to try to get a copy of the CCNP version of Boston NetSim. Find out what labs match up with those topics over there, right? And then I'm going to try to create my own lab to practice that topic. So lab number 5 will be one I'm going to create custom. And I was thinking about doing that on, like, maybe if I get a chance to stream on Fridays, we'll do like a freestyle Fridays, and we just come up with some topologies and mix up some of these technologies and just see how they work with each other. Like, for example, OSPF, how it works with, I don't know, EIGRP together, or route redistribution and things like that. And then I have some extra resources on the side, which is most of them are just pretty much Cisco white papers. So, and then maybe a second resource right here, how a minimum of hours and stuff like that, and then what topic they were from. So when I get a chance, when I fill all this stuff out, join the Discord server and I will share this with you guys. So let's go ahead and get started on the lab. I think hopefully these routers done woke up. Let's see, the switch and the router. Look like the switch is, he's just getting past his banner right there. So we said we got to configure the host name R1, and then the interface, this guy right here, that interface right there. Y'all can see the lab so far, right? GI0000, and his IP address is 192.168.10.254. Subnet mask of /24, right? Y'all with me so far? Anybody got questions? Shut that bad boy, right? So now this interface should be up right there. We verify our work with our show IP interface brief. Show IP interface brief. Make sure he is up. He is good to go. Task. They also said host name. Let me see. The host name and the IP address is what he said. That's it. That's all he did. This looked like a short lab. It's only got 6 tasks. So task 2 was to configure a DHCP scope on router 1. They didn't say specifically what in the scope we want to do. So we just make up our own stuff right here for the DHCP pool, basically. So we got to go to global config mode. IP DHCP, if I can spell, DHCP pool. I'm going to name it network, all caps, NetworkBruh. NetworkBruh pool 1. And lots of long ass name there. And let's put a hyphen to make it look technical. And NetworkBruh pool 1, right? Because we want to create a pool at my house, make a pool at my house. The network address, where are we going to pull network addresses from? The 192.168.10.0 network. Let's give it a subnet mask, right? Can you do a subnet mask on this? Can you do that? Network, and then the subnet mask. Yeah, /24, like that. Let's give it a DNS router. Fuck it. 192.168.10.254. He's going to be the DNS router as well. He's also going to be the default gateway, 192.168.10.254. What else we want to do with this pool? Let's exclude this address from being handed out, because that is the IP address of the DHCP pool or DHCP router. And let's not give away .1 either. So that's two addresses that I don't want to give away, right? So we say IP DHCP excluded address 192.168.10.254, and I don't want to give away .1 either, because typically that's what we give away as a default gateway, right? Let's show our work with show IP DHCP pool. You got to put the name in, right? Nope, no you don't. So pool 1, we have 254 addresses we're going to give out. We have, how come it don't say the excluded addresses in here? I thought you could put that, I thought you could search that in here. I excluded 2 addresses, 1 and 254. Maybe it won't get handed out. I hope it don't, because these are the addresses I said don't give those addresses out. Pete said looks really extensive. Impressive plan, to be honest. Man, appreciate that, Pete. Yeah, man. I've been like every day at work when I have some downtime, I like, you know, I let my boss know, hey, I'm gonna be studying for a little bit, and I told him this is gonna be my attack plan. I'm gonna share it with you guys. I'm gonna fill out all of the stuff, like all the YouTube videos that I find. I do have some videos that I like downloaded from a long time ago. So some of the stuff y'all may or may not have, but if y'all do a search online, some of those videos you can find. Okay. I'm not going to condone how to get it, but just know that you can find some of those videos online, okay? So task number 3, so we created our scope. Task 3, use default VLAN 1 on switch 1 and configure all 3 ports as access ports. So we already know out the box, we bought this switch out the box, everything going to be in VLAN 1 anyway, so we ain't got to worry about that, right? But he also said to configure all 3 ports as access ports. So that's an access port, that's an access port, and that's an access port, as opposed to what? Trunk port, right? So we'll make these guys as access ports. I'm pretty sure y'all know how to do that, right? If not, then just follow along. Go to switch 1, this guy right here. We forgot to name him, right? Go to global config mode or user or privilege exec mode and say host name switch 1. This is easy stuff, right? We haven't even got to the ARP inspection part yet, right? Interface, we'll do a range so we can do all 3 at the same time, right? 0, 0 through 2. And then we say, any questions so far or anything? We said switch port, right? That enables this to make it from layer 3 to layer 2 if it's not already. And then we say switch port mode access, that makes it hard codes it in an access port, right? We verify that with show, come on man, show IP interface. Let's just pick one, right? And say GI 00. And we see, and we got to get rid of the IP. Oh, that's a new one I learned, I think. No, not IP. So, yes, it is that, but then switch port at the end. So we see right there that we made it. It's already in VLAN 1, which is default anyway, right? It's in access mode, and it is hard coded as an access port. Switch port is enabled. That's how we did that with the switch port command. I think that's what I did not do last time when I was getting confused with the dynamic auto and all of that. I think that's what happened there. I forgot the switch port by itself keyword. So that's why I love going back to the fundamentals, y'all. I'm gonna experiment with that. So also on task 3, that was it for task 3. So we're on task 4. We only got 6 tasks. We're almost done here. We might be able to knock this out and go to another lab. Task 4, enable DHCP snooping. Kind of like what we did yesterday, right? Y'all remember what DHCP snooping is, right? It's a way to kind of block any kind of rogue DHCP server activity on our network. So anybody that plugs into our network and acts like a DHCP server says, hey, you want an IP address? Then we block that from happening by making our ports, we don't trust any kind of offers except from the ones that we trust from. Or we can do the inverse of that. So enable DHCP snooping on switch 1. Let's do that first. Before I move on, right? So IP, DHCP, shout out to Kobe and Jose in the chat for reminding me to do this by itself to enable it globally. DHCP snooping by itself, right? Because last time I did for VLAN 1, but I forgot to do it by itself to enable it globally. So I got to do that part first. If I want to do specific VLANs after that, then I go from there. But first enable it globally. That's what he said. And configure, he didn't say specific VLAN to do it on snooping, so we're doing it globally. And configure port GI02, which is this guy right here, as DHCP snooping trust port. So what does that mean? That means we enable DHCP snooping globally. So we don't trust DHCP offers from no port right now, except for the one we trust, which will be, in this case, that port right there. Why do we trust it? Why do we trust this port to receive DHCP offers? Because our DHCP server that we configured right here is connected to it. So we trust that port. That make any sense? So we go to switch 1 and we say interface GI 0/2. We trust this port as a Snoopy port. That's why I love Paul Browning. He builds off of the last lab, right? I forgot about that topic. Not really forgot about it, but I just kind of like stumbled through it, and he made me do it again in this lab. So now, and now I feel confident explaining it to y'all, right? So now IP DHCP, if I remember the command, snooping trust. See there? Enter, and we trust this port to receive DHCP offers. So that means if somebody plugs up into this port, here's the spoiler alert, my attacking daughter who walked into the data center, guess what? We don't trust that port, right? So what are we going to do here? Configure port GI02 as DHCP snooping trust port. That's what we did. Verify using the following commands. Now here's what I don't like. He forgot about something right here. I don't like this right here. I kind of like it, but I don't like it at the same time. He left something out here. But anyways, he said verify using this following show command. Show IP DHCP binding on router 1. So let's go to router 1, right? We're going to go to this guy right here and run that command. Show. Anybody any questions or anything so far? Am I losing anybody or did I misexplain something? Show IP DHCP binding, right? Why would we run that command if there's nothing to bind yet? Binding shows us what IP address is mapped or bound to. Isn't that a Kanye West song? Bruh. What IP address is bound to an IP address? What IP address is bound to a MAC address? Sorry. And this command will show all of that, right? But we didn't make any bindings yet. So we need to actually make a request and bind that MAC address to an IP address, right? So then he says, show IP DHCP snooping binding on switch 1. So go to switch 1, run that command, show IP DHCP snooping binding. Well, there's nothing going to be bound because we didn't make any requests or anything yet, right? So let's go to PC2. Since this is going to be a client, we're going to have him request an IP address. Bloop. Bloop. Oh, let me see. Did I forget something here? I did. Let's see. On port 1 and 2. Enable. Before I even do that, before I make that request. On switch 1, enable ARP inspection, what we came to do, on VLAN 1. And configure port GI01 and 002, which is that guy right there, and this guy right here, as ARP inspection trust ports. So we are going to configure ARP inspection but we trust these ports. If we get any kind of ARP requests on here, y'all remember what ARP is, right? ARP is a layer 2 protocol. Address resolution protocol is a way for us to resolve an IP address to a MAC address. There's also reverse ARP or RARP, which is resolving a MAC address to an IP address. But 9 times out of 10, you're going to know the MAC address of another device, and you want to know its IP address, right? Now, what ARP inspection does is if we don't trust a port to receive ARP requests, then we pretty much like sound the alarm. You're like, hey, you can't do that over here. Or I think that's pretty much it. I think you can block the traffic, actually. I think you can block the traffic. We'll see. We'll test it out. But so again, let's say this guy right here, if he wants to go to the internet, but he doesn't have an IP address. First, obviously, he got to request an IP address and get it from the DHCP server, which we'll do, right? So PC2 is gonna request a DHCP address, right? Obviously, he got a pool, and it goes through the DORA command, right? Discover, offer, request, acknowledge, right? And then those messages go back and forth, and then finally PC2 is gonna get an IP address. Once he get an IP address, but when he did that, he did a broadcast, right, to see if there's a DHCP server on the network, right? And when he does that broadcast, before he does it, he does an ARP request. That's how come every time we ping something, we always drop something first. We drop a ping packet first, and then we get a reply because that ARP comes in first. We asking for the IP address for the default gateway. That's what ARP does, right? But if we get any kind of malicious traffic that is trying to do some ARPing from a port that we don't trust, then that's where dynamic ARP inspection comes in, right? That make any sense? I hope I explained that good, but let's move on to task 5, and then we'll make this guy request for an IP address. So it says here on switch 1, you go to switch 1. Where is he at? Or did I? Maybe if I misspoke, let me know. Correct me if I'm wrong or anything like that. Sometimes y'all know I be just talking my head off. Enable ARP inspection on VLAN 1. So on switch 1, right? We go to switch 1. ARP inspection, I believe, is IP ARP inspection, right? No? Yes, it is. Good. See, sometimes iOS can be intuitive. Sometimes it can't be. ARP inspection, and then they said for VLAN 1, so VLAN 1, what else? They said, do we want to do some logging? They didn't ask all of that, but we could. So let's do that on VLAN 1. That's what we needed. That enables ARP inspection for VLAN 1. And configure port GI01 and 2, so this port right here and this port right here, those two that are lit up, as ARP inspection trust ports. So ARP inspection, we're going to inspect the ARP packets for everything here, right? But we trust this port and that port, right? Obviously, the one that my daughter just walked into the data center, we don't trust that port, right? Because that's how we're going to set it up as to work as, right? So we're going to go to the switch, which are already on here, and we're going to do those 2 ports as ARP inspection trust interface. We'll do a range so we can do both at the same time. GI00, it's actually 1 through 2. And what he said to configure, enable IP ARP inspection. So trust. So IP ARP inspection, trust. I love it when it makes sense like this. See there? So we trust those 2 ports right there. How can we verify that though? Show IP ARP trust? No. Show IP ARP. Let's do that interface. Let's do that interface. GI 0/1. No. No, we don't want to do that. How do you look at the trust? What port is trusted? Anybody know? Show IP dynamic ARP. No. Show dynamic. No. Show IP ARP. What else we got? We can do the interface and then inspection. That looks like it. Inspection. There we. No, that's just some statistics. If we get some. Inspection trust. Is there another command for that? Log interfaces. GI00. Let's do that. There we go. So 00 is not trusted. We did 1, and that port is trusted. So we trust this port, and we trust that port right there, right? We just do a 2. We trust those 2 ports. We don't trust 00 because we know that's where my daughter gonna plug in, right? So in case he tries to do some kind of denial of service attack, we'll stop any kind of ARP bursts at 15. I think that's packets per second. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong. You see that? Y'all got any questions so far or anything like that? Y'all seem a little quiet over there. I don't know. Y'all just really pay attention, but I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Y'all winning with that like button, man, if y'all like what y'all see. So we're trusting those 2 ports, but we're not trusting the one that my daughter walked into the data center and tried to get her little Barbie game, right? So task number 6 was to assign a static IP. So my daughter is going to assign a static IP to her computer and try to get her little Barbie game, right? But before we do that, we're going to see what happens when we try to make a request from the, so we can get on the internet, right? Try to get an IP address, right? So we are on PC2. Let's go to PC2 right here. And we're going to request an IP address. IP, DHCP. I think that's pretty much it, right? Press enter. Get on our knees. No, that's not it. How do you get an IP address on the VPC device? Y'all remember? I think it's lowercase. IP, DHCP. Yes. Pray to the network gods. We got all these. DORA, just like what I'm saying, right? Discover, offer, request, acknowledge. Boom, we got an IP address. So now this PC has the IP address of 10.2, right? Y'all with me so far? So he got the IP address of 10.2. Good. So he got a request. We got my daughter right here who plugs up and tries to get an IP address as well. Let's see what happens if she tried to request an IP address. whenever she logs on. Y'all hit me with that like button, man. Make sure y'all hit me with that like button. Y'all subscribe to this channel. We typically stream Monday through Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if I ever cancel, or if I do a bonus stream on the weekend or something like that, y'all join the Discord server, and I'll let y'all know. That's the Discord server. Make sure y'all join. So, host name is too long. Interesting. What was that all about? I don't know what that was. Oh, I put attacking daughter. It didn't like that. So he gave him the IP address of VPCS. It's all good. All right, whatever. So let's see what happens when my daughter tries to get an IP address. Is that going to work? Let's see. I haven't tried this. No, let's not do that. Let's just do exactly what he said. Task 6 was to assign static IP 192.168.10.2 to an attacker PC and ping the router 1 IP address. So let's see. Can PC2, can he ping the DHCP server? Let's try to do that. Ping 192.168.10.10.254. And we got a reply. Good to go. We didn't even have to get on our knees to pray to the network gods for that one. We get her the daughter's PC and give her a static IP address, which was what? IP 192.168. He said 10.2. Oh, we can't give him 10.2 because he's 10.2. So I'm going to give it another one. Because remember, I excluded 10.1. That's why he didn't give it to him. So I'm going to give my daughter's address 10.99 /24. Checking for a duplicate address. Now she got an IP address, right? 10.99. Let's see what happens when she try to ping router 1 so she can get her little Barbie game. So 192.168.10.254. Is she going to get a reply? Not reachable. Let's go to the switch. And we got all these DHCP snooping denies. Just what we came to see. DAI, Dynamic ARP Inspection. We got a level 4 message. DHCP snooping denied. Invalid ARPs. So we got some ARP requests on GI00. Why are they considered invalid? Because obviously my daughter tried to get her little Barbie game on VLAN 1, and that's probably her MAC address right there. This all these Fs means it was a broadcast because she was trying to broadcast for a default gateway, right? And this is her IP address, 10.99, and it got denied, basically. That's that level 4 message. So good to go there, man. Let's see what happens if she tries to get an IP address, though. Right? Did we get any messages? No, we don't get. Oh, we forgot to check the snooping binding. Let's check the binding database of router 1. There he goes right there. We got a binding address of 10.2 with a MAC address of this, which is theoretically the PC2, this guy right here. Let's just see what's his MAC address, right? Ending in 68 or 6668. PC2. What is it? IP config? Can you see? How can you see the flash all? No? How can you see IP address on the router? I mean on the VPC. View to view it. Set. That's how you set it. How do you view it? Set. Attempt to obtain. IP. Configure it. That's how you configure it. That's the default. Anybody know how to view, just to view the default, the IP addressing information? Is it just IP by itself? What is it? No? IP? I don't know. There's got to be a way to at least, show, no, that's show DHCP packet. Shout out to the chat. Professor Black Ops in the building. Appreciate you for tuning in, man. We got Kobe in the building. Appreciate you for tuning in. And thanks for the help yesterday with the DHCP snooping lab. What else? Does anybody remember how to view, just the view on a VPC? The IP addressing information? It's simple shit, but that's how you set it. Anybody remember? Oh well, it's whatever. All right, let's try to make a DHCP request on the PC. Fuck it. So IP DHCP enter. Is she can make an IP address request. She just can't make an offer. No, the PC2 is PC. This is PC2. My daughter is right here. She is gonna make a request for an IP address. So IP DHCP. Can she get an IP address? Yes, she can. So she just can't be a DHCP rogue server. See, now she got DHCP. She got a 10.3. She just can't be she can't make like send DHCP offers, because that's what it looked like Dynamic ARP Inspection does. It doesn't really see. It still allowed me to make a request for an IP address. Now, what happens if I try to ping a router 1? Can I do it now? 192.168.10.10.254? Nope. So even though she got an IP address, she cannot ping the default gateway. That little rascal trying to get her little Barbie games, man. Show IP. Let's try that, Network Engineer Pro. Let's try that, man. Shout out to you for tuning in, man. Don't you got a channel? I believe you just get your CCIE or something like that. I think I remember your channel. But anyways, let's see. Show IP. Enter. Yes, that's what it is, man. Appreciate that. That's what it was. That's exactly what I was looking for. So I wanted to see the MAC address of this guy, PC2. Why would they put show commands on the damn PC? Man, I was like, this is like a Linux box, isn't it? Or Unix or something. Show IP. I wanted to verify his MAC address. That's what it was right there. 6668. And we checked the binding on router 1, right? And that's it right there. So that IP address was mapped to that MAC address, right? This IP 10.2, that's the PC, to that MAC address. Holla back. All right, so I think that was it for that lab, man. Next time y'all want to follow along, this is the book we use, 101 Labs, Cisco CCNA version 4. Like I said, we're almost done with this book, man. We're going to move on to the CCNP topics. We're on lab number 105. Yes, 105. It's not a misprint. It is 101 labs, but there's like 20 more bonus labs, like 15 troubleshooting ones, and like 5, I don't remember what he's he got here, like an appendix in here and some challenge labs and stuff like that. So never use VPCS. Yeah, that's one of those tools that you can use as in-hosts. So, but I don't really know all of the commands and stuff on it. Y'all want to move on to the next lab before we cut this stream short, because it looked like we only did it for it only took us a half hour to get through that one. Next lab for this one is calls for packet tracer. Oh, you know what else they did too? They did an IP DHCP relay information. I didn't do all of that. I'm looking at the solution guide. That's another thing why I love about this book. He gives a solution guide. PCs now should be able to get an IP address, and he did. So IP DHCP snooping binding. This was what did not work for me. You go on a switch and do snooping binding. So the switch, Snoop Dogg. Show IP DHCP snooping binding. That don't seem to work for me. I don't know why. I thought the binding would have been shown on switch 1. Can you do snooping binding on a router? We did binding, but we didn't do snooping binding. Show IP DHCP snooping. Nope. You can just do binding off of this one right here. So he also got 10.3. So 10.2. Oh, that's the PC. 10.2 got. That's the same. Is that the same IP address? That look the same MAC address. He got 10.2. Then he got 10.3. So I don't know. Maybe the. Let me see the MAC addresses. That's weird. What happened there? Who got 10.2? He got 10.2. PC2 got 10.2, didn't he? Yeah, the PC2 got 10.2. And then the other PC, which is my daughter, she got 10.3. That's weird. I guess the MAC addresses are almost the same. That's 6668. 6668. They got the same MAC address. What the fuck? Right? Oh, one is ends in a 00. The other one's 01. Just different VLANs, I believe. No, not different VLANs. They like the same thing. I don't know what that's about. Anyway, Lab 106 is just using WPA2 with TCIP on a wireless access point. Do y'all want to do that one today? I don't know if I want to do this one. This one, this is a packet tracer lab. Yeah, I guess we could do that. Let's knock that one out real quick. This is a packet tracer lab. So I'm gonna close this guy. Exit. So yeah, y'all can get a copy of this book at 101labs.net. It's issued. You can get a link. Also get it. There's a link in the description box below. You can get a copy of it from there. This authored by this guy named Paul Browning. Love his books, man. He also has a Linux version of this book. He has a Network Plus version of this book. He has a Linux Plus version of this book. What else he's got? He's got like a whole series of these books, man. And that's what I love about this. I'm going to get the CCNP one. Because that was the exam that I was actually studying for before I started going back to the CCNA fundamentals. Go ahead and launch up Packet Tracer. Because that's what they're doing for this lab. Unless you have an actual, let's see, wireless access point with a laptop and a router. So, let's see. I don't know what kind of router he put for this one. I'm guessing this was the, is this the, trying to figure out which router he used. So anyways, learn how to configure WPA2 on and TCIP on a wireless access point, right? Y'all know what WPA2 is. So basically, it says right here, WPA2 replaced WPA as the preferred security protocol for wireless connections, right? They came out with WPA, that got like pretty much easily hacked, right? And then they came out with a WPA2. There's an enterprise version and there's like a home version, basically, not really home version, but just like for small businesses and stuff like that. And then nowadays it's like WPA3, which has the strongest encryption. They just came up with stronger and stronger ones because the hackers became a little bit more sophisticated and was able to crack these, basically crack the code. So they just came out with stronger security protocols, right? Let me go ahead and move this shit over for y'all hacking my shit. So yeah, page number 453 in the book, lab number 106. We're almost done with this book, y'all. Almost done. And then we're going to attack the CCNP exam, and I'm going to take all you guys along with me, man. An RC in my case. If anybody, what else are you guys studying for, man? Are you guys taking any other certs or anything, or what is your next plan? Because, you know, when you're in this field, you're like pretty much a lifelong learner, man. It's like you're always constantly learning, because IT is just one of those fields where you can't just stay stagnant. COVID-19 and all of this, you know, all this stuff that happened in the job market. Later. All right, man. Appreciate you for tuning in, Network Engineer Pro. But we are, yeah, typically I do these streams for this like one lab, but I've been knocking out two because I want to close this. I want to finish this book here. So, what is my damn password? All right, I'm logged in. Yeah, we just gonna knock this one out real quick, man. We only need a laptop. Bloop. It's gonna be my daughter again. We might give her access today. a router. I don't know what kind of router they put in here, but I'm gonna go with the ISR router. Where's that bad boy at? Bloop, bloop, bloop. I'm gonna go with the, where is it? Not the 891, but the 4321. We'll go with the 4321 router. And an access point, wireless devices. Which access point we're gonna go with? I guess we'll go with the. I'm gonna go with the packet tracer access point, because I think that's probably what they're gonna do on this. WPA2 replace WPA, like I was mentioning. So it's WPA, and then it says WPA2. There's actually a WPA3 that came out there. I guess I don't know why he ain't put that in his book, but WPA2 can work with other protocols to offer enhanced security. TCIP RC4 stream cipher is used with a 128-bit per packet key, meaning each packet has a unique key. So basically stronger encryptions, and it's harder to hack, basically. Lab 2 packet tracer, please do the following topology. So the router is going to be 192.168.1.1. I'll do some labeling here, labeling and cabling, while you guys get caught up. Hopefully y'all got the book, 192.168.1.1. CCSP, Certified Cloud Security Professional. That's what's up. Professor Black Ops. So you getting into like, is that more of like a vendor neutral cert? So you do, you got to do like Azure and like Google Cloud, or not Google Cloud. What the fuck am I talking about? Like Amazon Web Services and stuff like that. So you kind of like got to do, damn, I'm like half asleep or something. Like security checks and stuff like that, and making sure things are like HIPAA compliant and PCI compliant and things like that. That's what you got to go over. Alexander, shout out to you. He said he's currently working on AZ104 before I go for my CCNP. Oh, so basically like Azure, that's like Azure fundamentals and stuff like that, right? Or is that for Microsoft Azure? We are going to have the access point plug him up to the router. So bloop, bloop, plug him up to, let's say, gig 00, like that. And that's pretty much it for the topology. What else they want us to do here? He pretty much walks us through this lab. He don't even look like he kind of challenges us with this one. Connect a router to an access point using a crossover cable. I did it with a straight through. So let's I guess let's do it with the straight through. Like, I mean, the crossover is what he said. So crossover is this guy, right? That's the crossover. Which one? Did I put it on the right port? I hope I did it on the right port. I hope I did it on the right port. Where's the labels? Show me the labels. See, I mean, don't say you didn't use packet tracing in a while. You know you bought it. You know. Hold on, y'all. This device mode labels. Where's the interface labels? Animation. Telephony. I want to see the man, fuck all this, man. There's a way to see the labels. I forgot which button gives you the labels for the ports, man. What's going on here? Is it view? Preferences. Device model. That gives you the model numbers. Always show port labels. That's what I did right there. That's the ones I want. It's port labels. Bloop, bloop, and the logical workspace. Right there. For some reason, port labels ain't showing up. Or maybe you gotta hover over it to do it. Whatever. Is he powered on? He is powered on. No. Look, yeah, he kind of walks us through this lab. Go to global config mode, name him R1, I guess. R1. Capital R1. Anybody got any questions or anything so far? Love the stream, man. Appreciate you for tuning in, Alexander. Professor Blackops says, yes, it's vendor agnostic. Then I'm going for my AWS solutions architect. Oh, Professor Blackops is going for that bag right now, man. If you're going for AWS solution, then yeah, you going for that 6-figure ×2 salary, man. Because I know that's where the money is at, man. If y'all want to get some money, remote jobs, man, cloud work that's where to be, man. Not necessarily network infrastructure. Although to get the network, to get the fundamentals, it's good to know. I'm just kind of like passionate about network and hardware and stuff like that. But later on down the line, I think in the future I want to get into the cloud and stuff. That's where definitely the money is. So, but anyways, let's go to that interface, right? Yeah, he said that interface. In my case, GI is 000. IP address is going to be 192.168.1.1/24 subnet. No, shut that bad boy. And I hope that was the correct interface that I plugged it up to, because I don't even know, because that should have turned green. Let's do this. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna get rid of that cable. No, do I not? I don't want to delete that. I just want to delete this right there. No. Delete that bad boy, and then put the crossover from port 0 to port that one. I might have put it in something else. Yeah, that's why I wanted to see the labeling. See there? All right, good. All right. So the port's up. I know shut it. Task 3. We're almost done, man. There's only, how many is here? Is 5 tasks in here? Yeah, it's only 5, 6. No, never mind. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's 7 tasks in here and one task 3. Task 3, set the security and wireless settings on the access point as follows. So let's go to the access point. If you don't know what an access point is, I do have a video on access points. Y'all know what it is if y'all on this channel, I'm pretty sure. But either way, if you don't, it's kind of like a Wi-Fi hotspot. You know, you go into like McDonald's, Starbucks, or whatever in the mall, you'll see something in the ceiling. It looks kind of like this guy right here. That is an access point. This is an actual access point, right? Yes. I actually got this from my job. I just forgot to bring it back. This is, I was supposed to set this up for, we have this place called, I ain't gonna say what exactly it is, but there's a stage area where they actually have like, it's a stage, yes. Live shows and movies and stuff like that. I was supposed to set that up. I just ain't never get around to it. I actually ended up getting another model and hooking that up. I just got to bring that one back. But that is an actual access point. What was it? The 3800 model. I should have made that another pop quiz for y'all. Where was I? The access point. Go to port 0. No. Settings. No. Physical. No. Where is those settings at? Access point 0. He goes to the port 1. That's how he did it. That's where you do it from. The SSID. He said to name it 101 Labs. 101 pounds. ABS. The passphrase is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Come on, Paul Browning. You could have made something more secure than that, man. All right, fine. We'll go with that. We said it's going to be WPA2, right? Because that's what we came for. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The security, obviously, we did WPA2. And then the encryption type is TKIP. TKIP. What is that? Temporal Key Integration Protocol? I'll have to, let's Google it real quick before I make pretend I know. TKIP stands for, yes, Temporal Key, no, Integrity Protocol. So my bad. Yeah, it's basically like a type of encryption protocol. So another stronger type of encryption. There's also AES, but that is, I don't think that is as strong, right? No, I think it's the other way around. I think AES is a stronger encryption. I can't remember. That's our pop quiz. That's our pop quiz. Which one is the stronger encryption? AES or TKIP? And I think it's AES. But for this lab, he wanted TKIP. So we'll go with that. Task 4. Find the wireless card settings. On the laptop. Match the AP settings, but also add the IP address of 192.168.1.2. So we'll go to my daughter's laptop and finally give her some network access. And go to the wireless settings. Where's the wireless settings? I think it's on the card. Or configuration. Not Bluetooth. Is it under Fast Ethernet? Let's see. In the book, it's under just wireless 0. Oh, you got to put in the actual card. I think that's what you got to do. Right? Right? Because we go to desktop. PC wireless, that's not it. That's not it. I think you actually have to put in that that wireless card, right? I think so, because if you go to interfaces, it should have been down here somewhere. So that's what I got to do. Let's is it turned off? Is the PC turned off? You got to turn off the laptop. I like how realistic that is. We'll take out the NIC card, drag and drop the wireless card, turn the laptop back on. Go to the configuration. There it is right there. You see that? That's how you set it up. I like that. That's another thing about like packet tracer. They make it a little realistic, right? You got to turn it off to turn it back on. It's not plug and play. Wireless settings. Now we got the wireless settings, right? So now they said for us to set the SSID to 101 Labs. So that's going to get us to get on the internet, or the SSID, right? Remember that is service set identifier. It's basically the wireless local area network that's being broadcasted, right? Basically the name of the network. You know how you just go over here and you see all these networks right here? Like all these networks right over whenever they decide to wake up. These guys right here, these are considered your SSIDs, right? Service set identifiers. What else? Match the AP settings. So we did the MAC address. We got to do WPA to that. The passphrase was the secure password of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They also said the encryption type was TKIP. Anybody got a question so far? Anybody figured out which one is the stronger encryption? Where y'all at? Let me see. Yes, vendor agnostic. Yep, AES is the strongest. That's what I thought, Professor Black Ops. That's what I thought. Did he make us do TKIP in this book? But I'm like, I think AES is a stronger encryption type, but I I can't remember. So yes, AES 256 FIPS 140 validated. Okay, yes, that's what I thought. But for some reason he made us do TKIP. What else he said? The IP address, we're gonna give it a static IP because we don't have a DHCP server. So 192.168.1.2/24 subnet automatically fills out if you tab over. And then he said to add a default gateway of 1.1 to the laptop. So basically, we got to go to what we got to go to for that configuration. Then you got to go to desktop IP config. The default gateway right here, 192.168.1.1, which is pretty much the router. That's the default gateway now, right? And then that's task 5. Task 6, check the canvas and you should see wireless connection go live. So let's see. There it go right there. It looked like he just connected. No, he requested for a DHCP and that failed. So let's see here. Wireless 0. Oh, it did not connect just yet. Is this one broadcasting? Is this turned on? That's what I want to know. It is turned on. Let's see. That is 2.4 gigahertz. Let's see if everything matched. Because we should have been able to at least, because the last task, we should see the laptop connect to the wireless access point, which is up. I don't see that's the broadcast right there. So let's say let's turn it off and then turn it back on. Let's do that. Turn it off, turn it back on. That's the SSID that should be broadcasting. The PC wireless. Let's see if he sees any. He's at 2.4 gigahertz. Connect. Refresh. We should at least see some. There you go, right there. 101 Labs. We only got 39% signal. Interesting. Let's connect to it though. Pre-shared key is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He don't show us this in the book though. He don't show us this in the book. That's why I'm glad at least I got some experience or whatever. But either way, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oops, 7, 8, 9, and now connect. There you go, right there. Now we connected. See that little fake ass radio signal? I mean, that's just to show you how you can connect, and it just give you the basic understanding of wireless settings and stuff like that, like the channels and the security key and the encryption key, the encryption types and stuff like that. So now we go to my daughter's laptop, see if she can ping the default gateway so she can get her goddamn Barbie game, so she can leave me the hell alone. Ping 192.168.1.1. Get it on network. Get on these. Pray to the network gods. We got a timeout. He should have got a reply. Let's see what we got here. There's something here. There's something missing here. We should at least ping the default gate. We should be able to ping the default gateway, which is the router. That is pretty odd. Let's see. Oh, he even says it too. WPA2 has been replaced by WPA3, but it will take some time for some new devices to incorporate it. So, okay, at least he pointed that out. Just like I said earlier in the stream, I was like, why you got us doing WPA2 and TKIP? So, let's see what's going on here. Let's at least get that going. Show IP interface brief, because we don't want to let this go without at least getting a reply. Let me see. It is up. 192.168.1.1. We got the IP address of. What's our IP address? IP config. Oh, we didn't really get an IP address because that's what it was. We got a people address, self-assigned IP address. That's why. I think because they did say to statically configure the IP address on that right there. What I did right here is on the NIC card. No, it's not on the NIC card. I just didn't do it. Let's do it. Let's do it again. Now I can do this. 192.168.1. What did he say to give the IP address? He said 1.2, and then the default gateway of 1.1. We should still be connected theoretically. Now let's go on the desktop. Sorry, command prompt. get on our knees, pray to the network gods, and now we got a reply. Next time y'all want to follow along, get you a copy of this book, man. Actually, don't even get you a copy of this book. Get you the CCNP version of this. If you want to, follow the CCNA version, CCNA labs that we covered, you have to replay the live streams. We're on episode number 71 now. So if you want to, kind of go back and see how we did, I did it together. I've asked questions in the chat. It's not just me teaching y'all. I was learning from people in the chat room. I have a lot of smart moderators in there, a lot of smart people in there. So they were helping me out. This is a learning environment. So it's like synergy in here, man. I'm giving to y'all giving back to me. So it was interactive, and I'm always encouraging people to do this along with me, hands-on, because you can't just play this in the background and expect this stuff to learn it that way. You got to be hands-on with it. Experts agree that we retain only 10% of what we read and 90% of what we do. I want to show y'all a chart of the learning, like the levels of learning, like how much 10% you get, 10% of learning if you do this, 20% of learning if you do that, and then all the way up to 100% or 90% range. I'm going to show y'all that chart probably in the next stream or whatever. But anyways, you can get a copy of this book from 101labs.net, or there's a link in the description box below, right? If you want to look at the previous labs, replay the streams on my channel, make sure y'all subscribe, because the newer labs, after the final about 20, maybe 15 to 20 labs we got left in this book, we're going to move on to the CCNP topics. I'm going to share you guys my study plan and attack plan for the CCNP and RC exam, and we'll do it together. Join the Discord server, and I'll tell y'all, like, hey, man, I didn't get no studying today. Y'all let me know, like, I might not be able to cover this topic, or I'm going to have to cancel tonight's stream or something like that. There's going to be, like, life is not perfect. Y'all know I got a family, I got a daughter and stuff like that. So that's the Discord server. And we wrapped it up right at the hour. So like we typically do. For now, comment, like, subscribe to the network.